Hello you guys, welcome back to As Told by Kenya. In today's video, we are going to discuss some strange practices I have seen y'all partake in when it comes to social media and social media behavior. Because as we move into the Christmas season, we're in fall, I want everyone to be lighter. I want everyone to be freer because this is my favorite season. And speaking of this being my favorite season, my favorite thing about this season is the smell. I love having a specific smell to really help me capture the essence of this time of year, and that's why I am so happy that today's video is sponsored by Scentbird, because Scentbird is going to help me set the fall and Christmas vibes. Guys, I am so happy that today's video is sponsored by Scentbird. Scentbird is the perfect bang for your buck. You are able to try out new fragrances that really match your mood. This month, I wanted it to feel like fall. I wanted it to feel fall and earthy. And so I got my hands on two fragrances. One is by Commodity. It is called Juice. It has notes of raspberry pulp, strawberry, amberwood, rhubarb, violet leaf, and it just smells like fall to me. What I want fall to smell like. I absolutely love it. My favorite thing about Scentbird is the containers that they come in. It is so easy. Slip in your bag, on the go. You really can take as many with you as you want. So if you want to start in the day and smell like something, then towards the night you want to slip into something sexier. There is a quiz on the website that I encourage you to take to see what you're in the mood for. Maybe you don't want fall scents. Maybe what I think is a fall scent and what you think is a fall scent is totally different. Scentbird's got you. They got a quiz for you. My go-to scent this month has been Naked from the Maker. It is fresh, but it still feels seasonal. It has tangerine, passiflora, pink pepper, wild oars, white musk. I love it. When you get Scentbird, you get a 30-day supply of a fragrance, so you really get to try it out and really get to see if you like it before you commit to a full size, trying to figure out what your signature fragrance is. So if you are interested in trying Scentbird, scan the QR code or use the link below, and with my coupon code Kenya55, that is capital Kenya55, you will get 55% off Scentbird. Plus you'll get free delivery to your door and a free case. You get the product for half of the price. That's just $8. Get on over there. Scentbird, thank you so much for sponsoring this video, and let's get on into it. Hello you guys, we are into the video. I have some topics I want to come and discuss, some current events, things that have been on my mind, because I told you guys my entire life right now is about musings, thinking about the things going on in the world and how they affect me and my thoughts on them. So the thing we have to come and discuss, it's crazy I haven't discussed this on my channel yet, is that Trump won the 2024 presidential election. He won the election in convincing fashion, and of course that has made everyone jump into discourse. That has made everyone start yelling at each other. And as I was sitting back, not participating in any of this stuff, because I'm just trying to get my bearings, I am a person of hope. I am not a person who walks around every single day pessimistic. And if I do that, I do that for a second, and then I think it's time to find a solution. I do not like people who are not solution-oriented, people who just dwell in their own misery, people who just can't find a way out of no way, people who just don't have any tenacity, who don't know how to fight to put up the good fight. So that is just not my thing. But hey, that is a lot of you guys' things online. So I've just been sitting back, seeing what people have been up to, what have people been talking about, and it really has just been a bunch of people yelling at each other about nonsense. And so as I'm sitting back, I'm thinking to myself, Why are people doing this? Why are people yelling at each other? Especially when it seems like the two parties yelling at each other agree with the same thing. We don't want Donald Trump to be president. We believe in reproductive rights. We want the economy to be better. We want to end homelessness. We want all of the same thing. So why are you guys yelling at each other? I think it's a defense mechanism. I think it's a defense mechanism as we have been in trying times, as our times are going to get even more trying, as Donald Trump is going to, run us up a wall for the next 4 years. I think this idea that if you get ahead of it, if you try to, make yourself seem so smart, so knowledgeable, then you won't be affected. It's like if I get in front of it, if I'm mean, if I'm rude, if I'm nasty, if I'm yelling at this person, if I'm blaming this person, then I won't be affected as much. If I put up this armor, this hard armor, and be like, well, I told y'all just stupid, y'all should have, then you won't be affected by it. But I'm here to say you still will be. I'm here to say you still will be. And no, I do not think the people online yelling at each other all day are all that knowledgeable. I think we get into this point where, like, if you're going back and forth with people online, really splitting hairs over nothing, it gets to calling people names, like, it kind of shows that you don't know much of anything, because I think you're doing this to have some type of control. Because you can't have any control over what really is happening, you try to claim this little bit of control that you can get, and that's winning stupid internet fights. Winning stupid internet fights, going back and forth with people on the internet is something that you can't control. You can't control dunking on somebody. You can't control having the best comeback. You can't control the goops and the gags. So that's what you do, and that's how you try to get your power back, but it's not healthy. If we're going to get through this 4 years, which we are going to, it is going to take community. It is going to take us all coming together, and it's really going to take us all being kind to one another. That's what I really hope comes out of this 4 years. Everyone realizing that we are entirely too mean to each other. Like, especially online, in the name of what? In the name of being a good person, standing up for stuff that you believe makes you a good person, you get online and say awful things to each other, yell at each other about things that just don't need to have that energy around it. It's just really, really strange. So just seeing people yell at each other, just trying to be the loudest about stuff, especially coming from people who are not knowledgeable on anything. That brings me to the next thing. I have seen some takes where people are talking about, hey, the reason why no one knows anything is because stuff is behind a paywall. The reason why people don't know anything is because reading is a privilege. There are all types of reasons why we all can't do many things. Like, I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh, you do have enough time in the day to read a book, even though I do think you have enough time in the day to read a book. We all have our reasons why we do stuff and why we don't do stuff. I just think it is extremely unhelpful when people are having conversations about how we do get through these 4 years, how we do make it to the promised land, how we do have hope, how we do get knowledge. For you, the first thing you interject with is how people can't do stuff. That is extremely unhelpful. Like, just leave room in the conversation for people who can do it. Like, some stuff isn't for you. Every part of the revolution ain't for everybody, and that is okay. Maybe your job is to do something else in the revolution. If reading a book is that hard for you, maybe that ain't your part in the revolution. Maybe you do some crowdfunding. Maybe you do the crowdfunding. But, like, if you can't read a book, then why are you having conversations about people who are talking about reading books? That's the thing about the internet that kills me. People participate in conversations that they aren't doing anything about. Like, if you know that people don't read enough, what are you doing being like, well, some people just can't read. Some people just can't. Everything is can't with you people. That's another thing. Everything is about can't with you people. What can you people do? Why not approach the conversation and think of what you can do? This is what I am able to do. With the time I have in the day, this is what I can do. Why does everything have to be about the stuff that just is so damn hard for you to do? I do not get it. And what it does is creates this environment of nobody doing anything. Everybody has an excuse for why they're not doing anything. And then I'm going to push back on you guys not having time. Please go look at your screen time. I am off of this, and I wanted to be off of this years ago, but I'm really off of it now. This idea that all of you just don't have time to do nothing, all of you just don't have time to do nothing, but you clocked in to every topic that has anything to do with gossip, mess, celebrity, TV show, reality TV. You are plugged in to every single conversation, but anything outside of that, you just got no time. You just got no time to read articles. You just got no time to do anything in your community. You just have no time to read books. You just have no time, no time. But let me talk about Love is Blind, and you clocked right in. You clocked right in. Y'all spend so much time doing nonsense. That is another thing. Arguing with people online is nonsense. You make time for the stuff you want to make time for. Go look at your screen time. Go look at your screen time and just give me a week. Replace the screen time that you use scrolling at TikTok. Y'all will scroll. How about you take that time you're scrolling and just go do something else for a week? All I'm asking is for a week, and see how much more productive your life is. See what you do actually have time for. That's another thing I am in this era in my life. Maybe it's called getting old, but I'm in this era where before I say what I can't do, what I don't have time for, what I can't do, what is too hard, I attempt it first, and then decide if it's not. There are some things that are just I cannot do. I just cannot do. It's just too much for me. It doesn't agree with my body. I can't do that. Can't do that. But most of the stuff that I have tried, just give it a shot, it's really not that hard. If you keep doing it, it just becomes something that you do. So that is what I want you guys to do. Don't sit here and just be like, well, some people just can't read books, especially when you're not doing anything to help that out. So you're acknowledging that, hey, some people have a hard time, getting reading material, all this, but you're not doing anything to make sure reading material is available for everyone. You're not making sure the kids around you are reading. So what exactly are you doing except being a naysayer, except being somebody who just wants to be on the opposite side of a conversation? But I also don't believe you guys. That is the biggest part of this. I also do not fully believe all of you. Yes, there are some people who are burning the midnight oil, got 3 kids working the graveyard shift. They don't have no time. I'm not talking about them. But at the exact same time, you guys are the same people, and I do mean the exact same people who don't got time to read books, don't got time to read articles, don't got time to be in a community, but can tell me everything that's going on in the personal lives of everybody who was on Love is Blind. Stuff that wasn't even aired on a TV show. You know the ins and out of is because you went and go look for it. You go look for what you want to go look for. So but a paywall, getting information behind a paywall is a little bit too hard. Trying to get past a paywall is a little bit too hard. But you can go and find information on every single celebrity. Look at what y'all did with the Diddy stuff. Getting into the meat and potatoes of the Diddy stuff, but evading a paywall is a little too hard. Reading a book is a little too hard. Y'all did the same stuff with the Liam Payne stuff. You got down to the nitty gritty of that. When it's time for a conspiracy theory, when it's time for a takedown, you right there. You know what Blake Lively did. You know what this person did. But when it's time to actually do a little bit of work, you can't. And the thing is, fair enough. Maybe all you care about is mess, gossip, and foolishness. But just admit that. I would rather people just admit that's the stuff I care about. That is what I care about. That's all I want to care about. You guys know the ins and outs of every single celebrity's lives, but you don't know what's the book. What's the current book you reading? What's the current book you're reading? You don't know who your representatives are. You don't even know who your governor is. That's a choice. That's what I'm here to say. Y'all are making choices. It's the wrong one. And I just think you guys are going to run yourself ragged. Run yourself ragged pretending to care about things you don't actually care about. And the work that you do shows that. And also just arguing with each other all goddamn day long. You're going to run yourself ragged. It's not healthy. It's not good for your nervous system. It's not good for your anxiety. It's just not good for you. So what I'm saying is, in the next 4 years, we got to do some work. We got to do some work. We got to do some work. We got to focus on building community. We have to be kinder to each other. That's the only way we're going to get through this. Anyways, let's move on. In the name of being kinder, you want to know who I want to come and discuss? Halsey. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Halsey's music. I do not like Halsey's music. I really feel no deep desire to get into Halsey's music. I can't tell you if Halsey's new album is good or bad because I haven't listened to it and I haven't really felt like I need to listen to it. But I have said this on social media for a very, very long time. People are too mean to Halsey. There are just a few people online who it is just okay to be unkind to. It's just okay to be unkind to. Nobody's scared of their fans. Nobody's scared of them. No one's scared of any pushback. You can just be unkind to this person. It's almost even fun to be unkind to this person. And Halsey has become that. It does not matter what Halsey does. Halsey is going to be met with so much, not even the word anger. It's this idea that everything Halsey does is in bad faith, that Halsey is somehow out here trying to trick everybody. Halsey is inauthentic. Halsey is this. Halsey is that. And I don't know why this has specifically stuck to Halsey, because you would think at this point in time, Halsey would have gotten a redemption arc by now. I feel like a lot of people who we found cringe and corny in the 2010s have been able to gravitate towards getting a redemption arc. It's almost now like the fact that they were cringe and corny is actually why we enjoy them. As you see Charli XCX having a big year, Halsey and Charli XCX music sound nothing alike. And also, I think Halsey and XCX, they try to occupy two totally different lanes. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is Charli, you know what? Maybe I am saying something wrong. Charli has always been loved. I was big on Tumblr, but Halsey was loved on Tumblr. Let's not act like Halsey just showed up and pissed everybody off. Halsey was loved on Tumblr, so Halsey has been loved. It's just, you know, she went from love to cringe, and I think because Halsey, that's the thing. XCX moved on to like not trying to be in the mainstream. It's actually the thing I respect the most about Charli XCX. Charli XCX went to occupy a totally different lane that had nothing to do with mainstream success. Halsey, you cannot necessarily say the same thing. Halsey would still have chart-topping music. Halsey would still be doing, you know, the circuit. She would still be doing the big pop culture circuits. So maybe that is what it is, because XCX went down one lane, Halsey went down another. But Halsey gets so much ridicule, and I think her latest album is proof of that. Now, I am not going to completely jump out of the window and say that, like, oh, people are just mean to Halsey. Halsey music is not that bad and people just being mean. I want critics to be critics. I want critics to be critics. I have no problem with people having personal opinions about someone's music and then being like, this is how I feel about this person's music or this type of music. Therefore, going into their album, I'm coming from this lane. I have no issue with that. What I do have an issue with is just taking personal critiques of you that you have of a person, or personal critiques you have about just music in general, and then like framing it as if it should have something to do with an album. What I'm trying to say is I think a lot of music criticism this day is a big old pile of slop. I think it is a big old pile of slop. You go to these music publication places and you can't even say a single record that's on the album after you finish reading a review, because nobody is reviewing music. Nobody is reviewing music when it comes to these big music publication places that are writing reviews. All it is pop culture talking points that are just directly lifted from Twitter, from TikTok, or any place else, and then it's just shoved into a review, and then maybe they bring up a couple songs, and that is it. And it's just like, what happened to reviewing the music? I don't care if you like the music, dislike the music, because here is the thing. I do not think across the board all music reviews should be the same. I don't mind there being a positive review of this, a negative review of that, as long as it's steeped in your opinion that has, you know, your own thoughts about music, your own, you can't like everything, right? You cannot like everything. But I do have an issue with you sitting there and just taking pop culture talking points that really don't mean much next to anything when it comes to the music, and then just applying them to the album because you know it's either going to get the most clicks or you rather be writing something else. A music review is not what you actually want to be writing. You want to be writing something totally different. And so you're disguising what you actually want to be writing as a music critique. And it's just like, when are we going to start talking about the music? When are we going to start talking about the music? The thing is, though, I feel like this has affected Halsey her entire career. Halsey's entire career, there has just been this idea that Halsey is just out to get somebody. She is simply just out to get somebody. I think the most unserious thing about the Halsey conversation is Halsey and her race. I think the conversation on if Halsey is black, biracial, white, or anything in between is so damn unserious. It's not because of what my opinion is on the conversation. I won't even tell you what my opinion is on the conversation because it matters so little. But what I know is that you guys will call anybody black. You guys will call anybody black if you like them. If you like them, you guys have no problem labeling somebody as black. You guys will find someone's one black grandparent and be like, that person's black, no problem, no issue. But somehow with Halsey, y'all pull out the pundit squares and y'all get down to the nitty goddamn gritty of what the hell Halsey is. And it's not done. It could never be done in good faith because why does any of this necessarily matter? But more so than that, it's just like, what is even gained from this? Like, what is Halsey doing to where any of this actually really matters? Especially because you guys don't do this with anybody else. I would get it if maybe Halsey was out here just yelling the N-word from the top of building, but she's not. But like, I'm just like, what is this? Because you guys are never this strict. That's the biggest thing. It be Kenya who's strict. I'm the strict one. I'm the strict one on who gets to be black and who doesn't get to be black. It's y'all who not strict. But somehow with Halsey, everybody turns into Marcus Garvey. All of a sudden, everybody is Brother Malcolm, and all of it, like, and it matters. And I'm just like, this is so unserious. But it's because you already hate Halsey. You already hate Halsey. You already believe that Halsey is this fraudulent person who is out to get everybody. And then another thing I want to discuss. So after negative reviews came out about Halsey's album, you had people being like, let critics be critics. Y'all so mean to critics. Y'all so mean, bop. And I want to say something. Critics are like, it's okay for people to be mad at critics. I don't know. Of course, you should never dox people. You should never threaten people. You should never try to come for anyone's job. There's something called harassment. You should not do that. But saying a critic is stupid, oh, I disagree with this is dumb, is not an issue. I'm so sorry. This new idea that somehow critics are this protected class and nobody should say a damn thing against them because they just doing their job. What happened to really getting in the fucking field? Wasn't that the point of being a critic at one point? Wasn't the point to rile people up? If you're going to sit here and be judgmental, people are going to push back with that same exact vigor that you're coming at another artist. So yes, no, I don't think critics should be harassed. I don't think critics should be doxxed. I don't think critics should be anything that, actually threatens their well-being. But at the same time, if you put up a piece and people disagree with the piece, isn't that the game? Isn't the game about the conversation? So let's have this idea that it's just like, let critics do whatever they want to do. And like, it goes back to this idea that we're currently living in, that somehow critics are just, they're just operating at a level that is just so high right now. And it's just like, you over here defending these slot pieces that they're putting up. Like, this ain't even the good critics. The good critics aren't even the ones y'all defending. Y'all defending a bunch of slot pieces that they are putting out. But my biggest thing, and I think Halsey shows it, that music criticism is just in the gutter. When I read the negative reviews of Halsey's album, I leave feeling nothing at all. Like, I don't leave feeling like Halsey is the worst artist in the world. And it also doesn't make me even curious about what's on it. And that's an issue. I should be curious in some way. But there have been so many album reviews. I didn't like some of the Cowboy Carter reviews, even the good ones I didn't like. Some of Taylor Swift reviews, Katy Perry's reviews were like weird. Like, everything is just like talking point, to the point where it's just like, when are we going to review music? When are you going to review music? Good or bad? When are we going to review it? Another thing, even Lady Gaga put out her lead single for her new album, and the song Disease, I want a really good girthy review of that song because I have so many opinions and I don't know if my opinions of Lady Gaga and where Lady Gaga's music is at right now, if it's valid, if it's not. And so I'm looking for someone to give me the words to how I feel about Gaga in this current moment. But no one's doing it. Everything is just about talking point. And the thing is, I love a good talking point. But the thing is, there's a time and a place for that. And it's not in, hey, here's a review of Lady Gaga Disease. Now, that does not mean that I I don't understand that there has to be something behind why you say certain stuff. Explain that. There are ways that I feel. So, for example, I brought this up on Patreon. There are things I feel about artists. If I believe that an artist already can't sing, I'm going to go into your album already being like, this person can't sing. So when they're on a record and they're not singing, I'm going to say, ooh, this would sound better if this artist could sing, but they can't. That is nasty, that is rude, and that is mean, but it's my personal opinion, and it shapes the way that I view their music. I have no issue with you having an opinion on something that a singer does that shapes the way you now listen to the rest of their music. But there's a way to do that in a way that makes sense. Just pulling different things out and then throwing it on this person and being like, boom, and that's why this shit sucks. Be serious. And if there's people, the thing is, you could do that, but you're not even trying to do it in an interesting way. There's a plenty of reviews that are just filled with hatefulness that are actually kind of good reviews, that are actually kind of, like nice reviews, because I think people are too nice. That's where I'm going to leave this conversation. I actually think people are way too nice in reviews. I sometimes think music reviews are just fluff pieces. No one really gets into the meat and potatoes about anything. So it's not that I want people to just be all nice and say that everything is good. I just think that we are just moving away from what actual music criticism is, and we're just talking about a bunch of mess. We're just talking about why this artist is better than this artist, and should Beyonce make a country album? Like, if Beyonce can make a country album, that is just something that can happen. You can make a country album, I can make a country album. What does that have to do with you actually reviewing Cowboy Carter? Like, actually going through the songs on Cowboy Carter and talking about Cowboy Carter. What does Tortured Poets Department being long have to necessarily do with the songs on Tortured Poets Department? Let's talk about the songs on Tortured Poets Department. And then you can lead into, hey, this song might be repetitive, this is this and this and this, but just going into a whole paragraph as to why albums are long. There's good albums that are long, there's bad albums that are long, there are bad albums that are short, there are good albums that are short. Boom. That is, you're not saying anything unless you're saying something, right? And that's the issue. People are bringing up points that have nothing to do with the actual point of an album. Let's move on. The next thing I want to discuss is Meg The Stallion, and I'm actually pulling myself up to the carpet. I'm bringing myself to the red table. So Meg The Stallion, she put up a documentary. She has a documentary over on Prime. Go head over it and watch. And in this documentary, Meg is pretty much talking about the last few years of her life. You're really starting with the come up. She's talking about the death of her parents. She's talking about making it big, all of the success that she has had. And it's a really good documentary, and you really get into the mind of a huge artist and everything that's going on. Meg has been through a lot. And as I was watching the documentary, I realized I was a part of the problem. Yes, I'm bringing myself to the red table. I am a part of the problem. So quickly, there's a section in the documentary about Tory Lanez and how Meg The Stallion talks about how, she wasn't honest with Gayle King because she didn't know Gayle King was going to ask her a specific question. We have already known this whole thing, that none of this is new information. None of this is new stuff. Like, all of this is stuff that has already been acknowledged. And basically, one person takes this and they make a tweet about it, and it becomes a topic for the entire day. Meg's a liar, which is something people already say about Meg The Stallion. Meg's a liar. She's lying on this person. She's lying on this person. When at the root of it is just misogynoir. People just don't like Meg The Stallion because she's Meg The Stallion, and, Tory Lanez is sitting in jail, and, all of that type of stuff. But the point of the thing is, like, there was this entire documentary that had so many good parts, so many things to talk about, so many things you could pull from. A big thing about this documentary, I think, could actually be something people really should be talking about, is this idea of how artists are able to make it big these days. Like, Meg The Stallion kind of laid out a blueprint for how artists in today's culture can make it big. It's not the traditional route. She talks about the freestyles and all of this stuff. There's really stuff to take from this documentary, and there's a lot you can learn about the music industry and where the music industry is from this documentary. And the fact that that was the thing that was pulled from this documentary, and that's the stuff that people are talking about, I am sick and tired of mess being the thing that people associate with Meg The Stallion. I am sick and tired of that man being the thing that people associate with Meg The Stallion. People talk about with Meg The Stallion. And the thing is, like I said, calling myself to the carpet, that's what I be talking about too, because I be trying to defend Meg The Stallion. But at what point does it become, who cares? Tory Lanez is where Tory Lanez is at. Meg is where she is at. You choose which one where you would rather be. You choose which one you would rather be. And that just is what it is. This constant negativity that people just put over Meg The Stallion's head everywhere that she goes. People just have negative stuff to say about Meg The Stallion everywhere that she goes. Like, there was a tweet that was up, was like, oh my gosh, Meg The Stallion could shoot somebody, run somebody over, and y'all still would defend her. She hasn't done those things. You had to come up with something fake because you can't find anything real that she's actually done to anybody. And the thing is, it's just like, I am so tired of this. I am so tired of talking about stuff that does not matter. Number one, because it does not affect you. It does not affect you. It will never affect you. You do not know Tory Lanez. You will never know Tory Lanez. Like, if you want to go know Tory Lanez, go send a letter to him in jail. I don't know what to tell you. And secondly, you're just being mean to somebody. It is nothing more than that. These people, you can argue with these people up and down, left and right. These people have talked about a court case for damn near 3-4 years, and they don't even know the facts of this court case. And so the fact that they're not even familiar with the stuff they're talking about shows you shouldn't even be talking about this with them. It's all nonsense to them. It is all ways for them to push a certain agenda, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, friends. And so I'm moving on. I have decided to turn another page. Meg put up her doc. She got to say it in her own words. And I had decided it is time to turn the page to something new. It is time to turn the page and talk about something else with Meg The Stallion. Can we talk about Meg The Stallion's new Act 2 album, which is better than Megan? It's so good. It's so good. Can we talk about how good Meg The Stallion looks? And the thing is, if you don't like her, you can talk about nothing at all. Why not go talk about the artists that you actually like? Why not talk about the rappers that you actually like? Why not go do that? Why don't we all just pick our corners? Why don't we all just pick our corners and stay there? That is simply what I want all of us to do. Pick a corner and stay there. But just constantly putting this negative cloud over this woman's head for absolutely no reason is so bizarre to me. It is really, really strange to me. Last thing I want to talk about, because it's coming up. Black Friday is coming up. Now that I'm an adult and have my own money, Black Friday means a lot to me. But I'm about to tell you something, and you need to heed my warning. If you have not already been looking at Black Friday sales since, I'm going to be generous and say August, but I really want to say June, don't even try to buy nothing. Don't even try to buy nothing, because you about to get hit with the okie doke. This is the trick of Black Friday. You got to be thinking about Black Friday in April. This is where the girls who are shopaholics, this is where they finally get to see their chickens come home to roost. Because here is the thing. We are now in the time we really were about a month ago, where everybody jacks up their prices. Everybody jacks up their prices just a little bit. Not everybody, because then you will be buying nothing. But people start to jack up their prices. And on Black Friday, you're going to see them put their price right back to where it was in July. They about to put their prices right back to where it was in July. And you could have got this for this exact same price the entire time. They only giving you $15 off because it was $15 more a few weeks ago. But it was this price back in July. So that's the one thing. If you have not been looking at products and seeing what products usually are, you're probably going to get scammed on Black Friday. The next way you might get scammed on Black Friday is being excited for a sale that has already been there. The thing is, you have Columbus Day sales, you got Veterans Day sales, you got St. Patrick's Day sales, you got sales on every holiday and the fake one, Columbus Day. You got holidays, you got sales on almost every single holiday that comes around. So when you hit Black Friday and you get excited for that 15-20%, what if I told you on 4th of July they had a 30% everything must go sale? You wouldn't know that because you haven't been looking. And that's the third thing. If you didn't already want it, you don't need it now. If you didn't already want it, you don't need it now, because there's also this thing of on Black Friday, people just want to just buy stuff. They want to buy stuff just to buy stuff. No. If you didn't want it early in the year, you do not need it now. Unless you are literally gift shopping, fair. I would give you that. You got to get the stuff anyway. But the thing is, if you didn't want it for yourself back in April, you don't need it now. And I want y'all to be smarter shoppers. Because Black Friday is where the jig really goes. They start hiking up them prices in September, October, because they know they're going to have something for you. And you look into yourself like, oh my gosh, this was $340 on October 1st. But yes, now it's down to $305. It was $305 back in June, boo. It was $305 back in June. You just wasn't looking at it. You just, oh my gosh, they giving 25% off, but they gave 30% off on Veterans Day. You gonna find another sale. That's another thing. Feeling like you have to get things right away, and there's gonna be another sale. There's gonna be a New Year sale, a Martin Luther King Day sale. There's gonna be another sale. You don't gotta rush to get that. That's the thing. That's what they get you. Feeling like things are gonna run out. You're not gonna get it no more. No. Black Friday ain't always the best sale. Black Friday ain't always, but sometimes it is. There's a few things I'm going to be purchasing because I know Black Friday is going to be the best sale, because I've looked all year. We got to be smarter shoppers. Okay? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Scentbird, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video, and I will talk to you guys later.